special meeting at 11:01 p.m. Thank you for your attendance. Do we have any conflicts? Or
Certainly.
please
From
go
my
ahead.
perspective, just as in relation to C1 with CEO officer recruitment, I need to declare an interest and I won't stay in the chamber, and I'll allow the minute taker to record the discussion and the resolution as it progresses.
Okay, any other conflicts?
I have a conflict with C2.
Please go ahead.
What bill is that at C2?
Beg your pardon?
Oh, because we're going into close, yeah.
Mm.
You're right. No, you're right.
Okay, so we've got a conflict from Councillor Ladbroke on C2.
Yep, the item number is C2. Description, Queensland Music Festival. Declaring councillor is myself, Councillor Ladbroke. And the person of interest is my wife Alana, and particulars of interest. My wife is president of the Roma Show Society, and the type of conflict is a declarable conflict of interest, and the action I'll take is leave the room while the matter is being discussed and voted on.
Okay, righto, Councillor Hancock.
Mr Mayor, I just want to state that I've previously declared a conflict on this and council has voted for me to stay in the room.
Righto. Any other conflicts, councillors? Righto, does that have anyone to go into closed? Councillor McMullen?
Mr Mayor, I'll move.
You don't have a conflict with both items? Just
No, I don't, no.
I move that in accordance with the provision of section 254J3 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, that council resolve to close the meeting to the public to discuss confidential items that its councillors consider is necessary to close the meeting. In accordance with section 254J5 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, the following table provides the matters to be discussed, an overview of what is to be discussed while the meeting is closed. C1, Chief Executive Officer recruitment. C2, Queensland Music Festival proposal.
Okay, do we have a seconder? Councillor Burkett. Any opposition? All those in favour?
Yes.
All those against? 9-0. Okay. Well, we'll start with C1. Okay, C1, Chief Executive Officer recruitment. I'd like to move that Council repeal Resolution OM/09.2022/35 and replace it with that Council won't engage pre-recruitment Pty Ltd under a local by pre-qualified supplier contract arrangement to undertake the recruitment process for the position of Chief Executive Officer. 2, establish a CEO recruitment subcommittee comprising of the Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Councillor Guthrie. 3, approve the implementation of the key recruitment process action items and assigned stakeholder responsibilities as identified in the table below. Okay,
You'll have to read them out, Mr Mayor, because there's nothing on that's not in open items.
Okay,
Stage 1.
isn't that actually part of the agenda, but?
No, it's a closed report,
No one
Right.
else can see it.
so we have to read it out.
Okay, so well, I will actually do that. Identified in the table below, as detailed in the report.
You can't do that, Mr Mayor, because no one can see that report. We've got to make it public.
No, but we do move other motions where we detail what's inside a report.
If it's in an open.
Because it's in open.
Open.
This is enclosed.
We've got to either go back and put this as an open item, or you've got to read everything out. Open agenda item. Nobody can see this until we make it public.
Have it half written, just read it out, Mr.
Just
Mayor.
read it.
Stage 1 and go through it, stage 2, and if you've got any amendments, you just make them as you go.
Okay, so recruitment process. So A, CEO position description including key selection criteria and weights. Actually, we'll just adjourn and get advice on this. A, CEO position description including key criteria and weightings. A, prepared by subcommittee, approved by full council. B, CEO performance standards appraisal, methodology and scheduling, prepared by subcommittee, approved by council. C, draft contract of employment, including conditions of employment, remuneration, performance standards, appraisal, scheduling and methodology, subcommittee, full council. D, development of candidate shortlisting methodology and interview resources, subcommittee, full council. Prepared by subcommittee, approved by full council. Stage 2, candidate attraction and shortlisting. E, develop and implement candidate attraction campaign and materials, prepared by pre-recruitment, Pty Ltd, approved by subcommittee. F, received and screened applicant pool and forward shortlist of suitable candidates to subcommittee, prepared by pre-recruitment, Pty Ltd, received by subcommittee. G, review of candidate applications as provided by pre-recruitment, Pty Ltd, and shortlist preferred candidates for council interview in accordance with council approved methodology, prepared by subcommittee and approved by subcommittee. Schedule and conduct interviews with shortlisted candidates, prepared by subcommittee, approved by subcommittee. I, conduct pre-employment checks for 3 highest ranking candidates, prepared by council's human resources team, received by subcommittee. J, prepare a selection report detailing candidate suitability, summaries and supporting assessment materials for the 3 highest ranking candidates for presentation and consideration by full council, prepared by subcommittee, received by full council. Stage 3, selection, offer and notification. K, selection of preferred candidate to progress to offer of employment. It's not applicable who's prepared it, and it's done by full council. L, the mayor to be authorised to negotiate the final terms and conditions of the contract of employment for council's selected candidate. It's not prepared, it's not applicable, and done by the full council. M, issue a written contract of employment for the appointment of the Chief Executive Officer in accordance with Section 194 of the Local Government Act 2009. Administrative support provided by Manager of Organisational Development and Human Resources, and carried out by Mayor on behalf of the full council. And N, notify unsuccessful candidates, be prepared by pre-recruitment, Pty Ltd, and carried out by pre-recruitment, Pty Ltd.
No, subcommittee.
Subcommittee.
Approved by the subcommittee.
No, to notify the candidates, it should be pre-recruitment notifying the subcommittee, notifying the candidates.
But someone's got to approve it.
Yeah.
No, that's been approved. This is when you're notifying the unsuccessful applicants.
Where was that?
Right there in the bottom end.
So prepared
Yeah.
by, well, it's approved and then it's carried out by. Well, I'll clarify that is approved by the subcommittee and carried out by pre-recruitment, because they're the ones that would notify them.
Mr Mayor, can I make a
Yep.
comment? Those on the panel making the decisions have got to be the ones to actually provide the feedback, because pre-recruitment weren't part of
The selection.
the actual selection discussions.
around the wrong way.
They weren't,
It doesn't give clarity on who is actually, or what I'm actually, so I'm happy to clarify it, but, and that's fine, this subcommittee would be doing that, but who's notifying the candidates?
A three subcommittee.
So just take pre-recruitment out and put subcommittee.
No, pre-recruitment got to prepare it
they prepare all the
because but subcommittee got to
deliver.
deliver.
Are you sure about that?
Who
Because
says that?
Well, recruitment can't talk on behalf of council.
Because they're not part of the interview process, so they've got nothing to base their comments on
as what
because
it
they
was.
weren't part of the process.
But they're doing but who's doing the comments to the unsuccessful candidates?
You guys.
That should be the,
The subcommittee.
So you're saying the subcommittee is going to contact the
Say
unsuccessful
sorry,
candidates?
write to them and say sorry. Thank you
because
for your input.
they're entitled to feedback.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand that, but anyway, so I'll go with N, notifying successful candidates, prepared by Recruitment Pty Ltd and approved by
Carried out, or
Approved by.
subcommittee. Right, okay, so do we have a seconder? Councillor Ladbrook, any opposition? Does anyone wish to speak to it?
I'd like to move an amendment.
Please go ahead.
I'd like to move an amendment to point J, which is to schedule and conduct interviews with shortlisted candidates. It'll be prepared by the full council and approved by the full council.
Okay, do you wish to speak to your amendment?
Was there?
You got to ask. You got to accept it.
Well, I don't accept it, so would you wish to speak? Oh, do you need a seconder?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have a seconder? Councillor Hancock, do you wish to speak to the amendment?
I do. It's like Groundhog Day, really. Last Wednesday, I put forward an amendment to a resolution that the mover of this particular motion put to council, which ensured that all 9 councillors in the room had an opportunity to interview the potential candidates that will be appointed into the full-time position of CEO of this council. I think it is imperative that all 9 councillors here are involved in that element of the process, interviewing and having an opportunity to engage with the potential leader of the organisation or wing. I think sits firmly on the shoulders of the 9 people that have been elected to this council. We're going to appoint this person that will see in to the next term of council. I think we all must be involved, and I think that it is beyond community expectations that they would have all 9 of their elected representatives involved in the nitty-gritty of the recruitment of the person that would lead the delivery of the services for our community. And if not supported, that would then rest on the shoulders of 3. And I think it would empower this council for all of us to be involved in the recruitment of what is an incredibly important position for our organisation. And I strongly urge councillors to think about this when they make their decision, given that it was only 5 days ago that a majority of council believed that all 9 of us should be involved in the interviewing of the CEO of the Maranoa Regional Council.
Does anyone wish to speak against the amendment or for the amendment? Please go ahead, Councillor Hancock.
Yep, thank you, Mr Mayor. I too, I agree with the amendment. I haven't changed my mind from last week's meeting, that I do believe that all of us councillors were elected at this table on an equal basis to make decisions in the best interest of our community. This isn't a dictatorship. I think we deserve to be at the table and make this decision. This decision is one of the biggest decisions we will make. And I believe, for me personally, to be able to make that best decision for our community, that we need to be involved in the process of the interviewing to meet the candidates so that we can make the best decision of this council. for our community. I don't believe that we will make the best decision based on paper. I urge councillors to give us the opportunity to come together as a council and be involved in interviewing our next CEO for our community.
Does anyone wish to speak against the amendment or for the amendment? Councillor Taylor.
I'm going to vote for this amendment also. As in last week, I too have not changed my mind. I actually was very excited about the fact that we got the majority last week and that we would do this as a council, 9 individual councillors. If I don't get to interview, I will feel that I've shortchanged my community because they put me here to make these decisions for them, and I just don't know why. I just don't know why you wouldn't expect us to be a full council, a council that does something together. That's what we were put here for. If we're not put here for what, like this next CEO, this is a big decision, and I don't see why it can't be the decision of 9 people that were put here by the community to make decisions for them. I really feel that if we're being shortchanged, and as Councillor O'Neill said, I don't know what's changed in the last 5, 6, 7 days to make this even come back to the table, except the Mayor didn't get his own way, so fluff it up how you like. We're here because somebody needs to get their own way, and I just feel so shortchanged and so sad, the fact that nobody cares that there's 9 people at this table.
Okay, does anyone wish to speak against the amendment? I'll speak against the amendment. It's absolute rubbish that councillors don't get to decide the CEO. They do. They also decide all the material that goes out for the recruitment of the CEO. They have full input into that. It's just that the legwork is being done by the selection committee, which is the Mayor, the Deputy Mayor and Councillor Guthrie. So councillors have full control. It's just that you're not getting 9 to do everything. You're actually delegating it to the subcommittee, and councillors have full control, and that's why this is totally legal and an efficient use of council resources. Okay, does anyone else wish to speak? Please go
I just can say, Mr Mayor, I have changed my mind, and the main reason I've changed my mind, the resolution the report last week had very little information in it. This time we have a very detailed information and in the report, in the resolution, sorry, and we also have advice from the legal people and to say that what is being proposed is totally legal. So that's why I'm changing my mind.
Okay, does anyone else wish to speak? Does the Mayor wish to sum up?
I do. I couldn't be more disappointed right now in my 10 years on council. 7 days ago, a decision was made by a majority of council that afforded the utmost respect to 9 people that were elected by the people of the Maranoa to make decisions on their behalf. You can spin it however you like. Yes, the decision will be by a resolution that will come back to council, but it will not allow a majority of this chamber to eyeball, to interview, to engage, to understand, get face-to-face contact with the next leader of the organisational wing of this council. The repeal notice that the Mayor issued to us occurred on Thursday of last week. The legal advice that was sought occurred on Friday of last week, so the repeal notice was issued to councillors prior to getting legal advice. You can claim and hide behind it. It says that it's legal. My question to all councillors here, is it ethically and morally appropriate to exclude members of this council from having the involvement on this recruitment process where you engage with the candidate? Yes, the Mayor can spin it and say that there are elements of this process that is in control of the full council, but the actual sit down and meet and greet and interview of the potential candidates that will ultimately lead this organisation for whatever period is determined by council is being stripped away from the majority of people that have been elected by the people of the Maranoa. I have never been more disappointed of a decision in this chamber, and I urge councillors to reconsider and show the respect that you showed your fellow elected members last Wednesday by supporting an amendment that empowered all of us, all 9 of us, to be engaged in the recruitment process for the CEO of the Maranoa Regional Council.
Okay, on that note, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour of the amendment? All those against?
Against.
3-6, the amendment is lost. Can I call for a division? Okay, so we have, does anyone wish to speak for the motion? I'll speak for the motion. I believe this is in council's interest. I think as councillors, we need to have, we've got a very robust process. Process is everything. In selecting a CEO, I believe that delegating the responsibility will mean that councillors have the full power, of course, to make a decision, full power in regards to what goes out as far as recruitment, because it's always approved by council. So it's rubbish to say that you don't have any power. You have the power. It's just an efficient use of local government resources and time. Okay, does anyone wish to speak against the Councillor Taylor?
I have plenty of time, so I would have been quite prepared to sit here and go through 3 candidates or 4 candidates or 2 candidates. I just feel like it's just, I've been shortchanged. I can't do my job because somebody else decides that it's, you know, the resources, it's using up resources. I'm quite happy to sit here and do interviews. I would never have employed somebody in my own business unless I saw them. I just don't see why it has to be such a big deal that we can't actually physically have the same conversations that 3 of you are going to have. And yes, you'll give us all the paperwork and you'll give us all this, but that it's just not fair. You're not being fair to me trying to do my job, and you know, this is a very highly paid job, and I have no say in it. And I mean, you can say that I'll have say in it, but I really won't have any say in it. It'll be whoever you bring to the table. You've already made the decision long before it gets to me, so I won't be supporting this. And I will tell you now that it's just breaking my heart that I can't do my job.
Okay, does someone wish to speak for the motion? Okay, does someone wish to, Councillor McMullen?
I was just going to say, Mr Mayor, we've been told very clearly, whilst there will be paper, everyone will see everything before they're asked to make any decisions. So yes, you may not see the person in face-to-face, I suppose is the word, but it's said in there, clearly said in there, that all paperwork and all information will be provided to all councillors.
Okay, does someone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Hancock.
Yeah, Mr Mayor, I am just so sad. This is purely dictatorship, and that makes me really sad. We're just going to be brought to the table a piece of paper with 3 people's information on it, on how 3 other councillors have seen how they have interviewed. And then we are expected from that piece of paper to make such an important decision. I don't think that this is actually fair. And we supported 3 councillors to be on that subcommittee. I did not have a problem with that. But those same 3 councillors are now denying the rest of the councillors the opportunity to interview and to be involved in this process. This is a real sad day for the Maranoa. I actually thought this would be a positive day last week when we came together to decide that we would do this together, interview together and be part of this process together, giving us the opportunity to interview these people face to face. You cannot, in my opinion, make a decision off a piece of paper that is good enough for to employ a CEO. But yet, that is the position that this council is going to put us councillors in. And I just think it's a very sad day that this has become a dictatorship.
Can I just say?
Yep, go ahead.
Speaking for or
Yeah,
against?
Councillor Edwards, speaking for.
Yes, go ahead.
I voted against it, voted against it last time. In the amendment, the final resolution that went through last time, I voted against it. I voted for the, I was happy with the original. Then it got amended and I voted against that. So, I'm fully informed, fully aware. And that was the way I voted. So I just want people to know that, but that was the way I voted last time. And this time I'm still, I voted against this amendment and now I'm voting for the amendment. Now I'm voting for the original resolution and I'm voting for it. Because I think everyone's had a fair go here. And the other thing is, the way this has been proposed or presented, I think is far more clearer than what the last resolution was. It wasn't clear to me how we were even going to achieve that last resolution. And but this is an improvement on that. I can, in my opinion, it's an improvement, a big improvement on it. I won't go into the logistics of it and why I don't think the other thing would work, but I'm very happy with the way this has been presented. So I'll be voting for it.
Okay, does anyone wish to speak against the motion? Councillor O'Neill.
I'll speak against the motion. The beauty of this term of council, of course, is that all proceedings are recorded. And the community will have an opportunity to see the debate that ensued last week and the resolution that was put with it being brought back to council today with no material difference. The table in which is being referred to was the table in the report. It made reference to it. The difference between last week and today is simply that the Mayor didn't win the debate. You didn't get the motion that you put forward, which was that three of you ultimately bring back one person, and now it's three for council to consider based on paper. You didn't like that. You repealed it within 24 hours, and here it is again today for us to consider. Two councillors have changed their vote. That'll be a matter of public record. And I'm sure the community will have questions as to what changed between last Wednesday and today. Just as I have, I've asked the questions, as other councillors have, and it hasn't been justified. There has been no material change. You can spin it however you like. It's the same resolution, including a table. The difference is you're repealing the fact that 9 now will not be interviewing the potential candidates who will be the next CEO of Maranoa Regional Council. That is now being deferred to 3 councillors who will bring back 3 names for us to make a decision on paper. I just think this shows the utmost disrespect to your fellow elected representatives who, like you, got elected by their community to make decisions on their behalf. I think you were stripping us of the right to have valuable, empowered input into the recruitment of the one position that this body in this chamber has the responsibility of appointing. Taking our ability to interview the candidates makes us having to determine based on a recommendation from 3 people on paper whether that person is going to be any good at serving the community in delivering the services for our community. I just think that if this decision gets up today, it is a dark, sad day for the people of the community that put their faith into the councillors that will not be on the committee that it's being approved to run this process. So I urge councillors to vote it down and I urge all members in the community to go and have a look at the 2 debates across the 2 meetings and make up your own mind as to what's happened here.
Okay, Councillor Ladbroke.
Yeah, I just think this is the quickest and simplest way, and I put my trust in the Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Councillor Guthrie. It'll cut out a lot of time, and I'm sure that we'll get an excellent candidate at the end.
Okay, does anyone else wish to speak? Councillor Burkett?
Mr Mayor, I did change my mind. I'm entitled to do that, and I didn't take that lightly. The one concern, which I did voice earlier, was around the interview process and how I was worried it could get out of hand and everything like that, and that's what the end result. It is a lot clearer for me in here, and probably does have a lot of the same information, but I did change my mind. I didn't take it lightly, but I do have full faith in the committee, and especially Councillor Guthrie, that in the last negotiations was vital in a lot of key instances there, so I got full faith in the committee to get it done.
Okay, I'll just warn Councillor Hancock, I think it's disrespectful and a point of order to say dictatorship. Council is a dictatorship, or whatever you said, very close to that. So I'll warn you that that I believe that's disrespectful and it won't be tolerated in future. You need to be respectful to council, and any councillor can make any decision any way they would like to. Also, I would like to sum up and actually say what I think is misleading is to say that there is no change from last week. This week, councillors have all had the legal advice that was shared to say that what we are doing is legal under the Local Government Act. That is different, so I do believe, Councillor O'Neill, that was misleading to say there is no material change. There is change that all councillors have the legal advice which they never had last week at the meeting.
Sorry, Mayor, but do we have that advice for that meeting last week? Did
No,
you get legal
no,
advice?
but
so there
since
wasn't
then,
any legal
there is a
advice.
difference, and you said there wasn't a difference, and there is a difference. There is a material difference that councillors have had legal advice.
But it doesn't
And-
reference legal advice in the motion, though, does it?
And no, but you know that all councillors have had legal advice,
I
so it
referenced
is
it.
misleading to say there is no material difference. Also, this situation is that we're in a situation that council is controlling everything that goes out, that the subcommittee will come to council, all of that will be approved and then that will be sent out. All of the decisions of who is appointed as CEO will be a council decision, and that is the 9 councillors, and I think that needs to be remembered in the debate. So on that note, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
All those against? 6-3 if I can call for a division. Okay, we'll just adjourn for a second and get the CEO back. So we'll keep going with the meeting, and Councillor Ladbroke is leaving the room on C2 and has left the room.
Hancock's left too.
Is Councillor Hancock
I thought you were going to appoint. You was going to your
in
appointment?
for a minute?
Oh no, you can be on camera. I'm an apology for the rest of the meeting.
Okay, item C2, Queensland Music Festival proposal. Do we have a mover? Councillor McMullen.
Mr Mayor, I'll move that council thank the Queensland Music Festival for their partnership proposal to deliver an event in May 2023 as part of the Outback Queensland Music Trail Initiative. 2, decline the offer to participate in the 2023 initiative, but indicate its interest to participate in a 2024 Outback Queensland Music Trail Initiative.
Okay, do we have a seconder? Councillor Burkett. Any opposition? I'll speak in opposition. Does the mayor wish to speak to the motion?
Yeah, Mr Mayor, I just think this needs the best way to go because my understanding is the Outback Queensland Musical Trail can't change their dates, and this would be clashing with the Roma show.
Through you, Mr Mayor, Councillor McMullen, I just wondered if you would like to add in the location of Roma?
Oh, okay, sorry, did I miss that there?
No, you didn't, but I
No, yeah, okay, yeah, event in Rome in May 2020. I'm happy with that, yeah.
Okay, I'll speak with this. I'm just really concerned that, you know, we haven't made a decision, and I do believe there's ways to make sure the show is not affected. I do think the bigger part of having the Maranoa involved is a benefit for all areas of the Maranoa. So I'm not going to support this because I think we should be involved, and I don't know of any other council that's not involved that has been asked to be involved. Okay, does anyone else wish to speak for or against? Does the move wish to sum up?
No, thanks, Mr Mayor.
We'll go to the vote. All those in favour? All those against?
What about?
Against.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, if I can call for division. Okay, no further business, councillors. We'll close the meeting at 1:30 PM. Thank you for your attendance.